Hi everyone, welcome back to F1 2020, my team at Minardi playthrough. We're at the Dutch Grand Prix. We've just recently had a game upgrade to version 1.05. Hopefully it will mean that there will be less weird floating heads going around on the place. In the run-up to the Dutch Grand Prix though, we've got quite a few things going on. We've got these new rear wing outer strakes coming through. It looks like we've got a press interview coming up. And a few other things unlocked because we hit appeal level 5. I'm just going to move the microphone closer to me, sorry for the noise. So I was kind of looking at what we want to do here and where I want to go next with improvements and upgrades to the team. So the first thing I wanted to go for was on the old sponsorship, and that is to get us some more team morale increases. I think would do us some good. Plus we get some 30 grand on the cash. That gets us 4 days worth there. Then we've got the press interview, and then I was thinking, what should I do? And I guess for me it was around what can I do to kind of increase what's going on, and I was wondering if I should focus on the powertrain or if I should focus on durability next. And I'm going to go with durability to get myself some more resource points as well as increase their performance. The idea around that is that I want to then do the gearbox upgrade in the R&D that's coming next here, because we are the worst team in terms of reliability. I'm a bit worried about it, so I just want to wait a week essentially before I can then get this, because it will reduce the failure chance down slightly. I was also sitting there thinking, I could also squeeze in this heavy dampers reliability as well, to increase the to reduce our tyre wear. I'm just not sure, whereas these are just slightly out of reach for us on the big upgrades going on here, at least until after the Dutch Grand Prix. So let's stay where we are with that for now. The other thing that happened is that we now have the ability to have a secondary sponsor. So we've already got one where you just complete 30 laps during a race weekend, and I think that's pretty much achievable all the time. So what could we do as a second one? So let's sort by what's the top weekly income, because that would be juicy for us. Achieve and hold first position for 4 laps, out of our reach. 75 laps, that feels like we're going to then put ourselves into grid penalties trying to deal with that. Score 10 Constructors Championship points on a race weekend. I mean, we're still getting good juicy weekly income, but yeah. Achieve a top 10 finish during the race could be interesting though. Top 12 finish, again, it drops it down in terms of the actual goal, but it makes it more achievable. And I don't think we're going to get it at Zandvoort nor in Monaco anyway. Whereas that score 1 Constructors Championship point is kind of, it doesn't matter because Jordan King's not going to be scoring much. So it's got to be down to me, which is why I'm like, achieve a top 10 or achieve a top 12, either or. Let's go for the top 12. Just because I think I'm going to be really all over the shop. And that would be helpful. And it's a shorter contract as well, which means that we can manoeuvre our way out of it. So let's add painite to everything. And let's deal with our sponsor decals. Oh no, Pacifico looks better there. But I quite like painite there. And there as well. Yeah, that'll do. Looking good with an upgrade. Okay. So let's push forward a couple of days.
As we continue to increase our acclaim, more potential partners become willing to work with us. We can now approach an additional sponsor from the corporate tab.
Done that already, mate. Okay, we have a press interview of Will Buxton. That's great. Now what has that done with the extra money? So we're now still on 1.27 million. That is fine. We're not quite at the 1.3 though. Let's... Do you know what? I think we'll be able to get it with the resource points of what we've got going on. Ooh, I'm in the wrong menu. Oh, and that's failed. Okay. So let's develop that and get that going. Oh, that's kind of limited what I was hoping to do then. Oh, annoying. But let's press on. We might still get enough resource points in there. We'll soon see. Let's go to the press interview with Will. See how our chilled chum is doing.
Well, it's great to be back at your headquarters, and I've got to say, an awful lot's changed since we were last here. Let's dive in with some questions. Would it be safe to say that in terms of team orders, your career comes first in your team?
It's my team, so it's my rules. Absolutely not. There's no team orders here.
Will your team be going for the Constructors' Championship this season, or just for points?
It's the first season. We aren't BAR. We're planning on getting plenty of points this season. If you get a few programs to developing as a team, but we're hoping for plenty of points. We're planning on getting plenty of points this season. God, my PS4 is going nuts.
Seem to be getting much more comfortable with their car. Have you been focusing on their development?
Investment in your staff is so important in this sport.
Let's talk about your new second driver. Are they settling in?
Jordan is loving the new car.
What are your predictions for your team going into this season?
We should be a solid midfield team. I'm hoping plenty of points.
Well, thanks so much as ever for your time. It's hugely appreciated.
It looks like Will, but it doesn't look like Will, but it does look like Will, but like in a vampire-ish way. Kind of creeps me out. Freaking me out. Okay. So that's us back. So we'll now get the durability upgrade, which is fine. But there we go. That's exactly what I wanted. 1.83 million. Okay, so this is where I need to decide what I'm going to do. So we're on 269 points there. 1.83. I kind of wanted to do the failure quality control on the... Yeah, because the others are 2 million. I'm not so interested in a power unit at the moment. I'd like a car that's reliable. So for me... Oh, mind you, build time could be interesting as well. No, I want failure control. Done. So it'll come for the 5th of May. I'm happy with that. And then the other thing, and this is me spending an awful lot of money, but I don't care, is to go into the driver perks, and we're going to do the engine wear reduction. 10%. And that will help us no end. And then we're going to need to kind of save a little bit of money, invest in our future. So I'm going to go off and try and practice at Zandvoort, a track that I've gotten to grips with a bit better than I have at Hanoi, thank God. And I'll come back to you just in time for quali. See you in a bit. Okay, welcome back after practice. Practice went not too badly, it must be said. Unfortunately, my quali sim was rained out. I went out onto the track and it was just starting to spit with rain right at the beginning of the session, and then continued to be intermediate/wets hovering between the two throughout the whole thing. So I didn't see the point of doing a quali session when we know quali is going to be dry. So interestingly, as you can see there, Alfa Romeo have had a big upgrade which has leaped them ahead of Alpha Tauri. Haas have leapfrogged us in the development stakes as well. And Racing Point have leaped ahead of McLaren. So all interesting stuff going on there. But as you can see, I got quite a lot of resource points, which really makes me happy. Build time decreased by 1%. I feel like that could be better. Oh, that feels good as well. It does still feel important.
What do you think of this one?
I kind of agree. Do it. Do it. Oh, it's only a tiny fail. Do you know what? Leave it until after the race weekend, because then I think it will be up at 5% rather than 1%, if that makes sense. Okay. Right. Let's dive on into quali. Wish me luck. Okay, so if anyone's interested in the car setup that I have for Zandvoort, here we go. 7.4 on the wings, mainly because you're having to sling your car around so much around here. Transmission fairly standard. Suspension all one way and then all the other, bar one. Toggle on each. There's my suspension. There is my brakes. I've been diving between 85 and 82 on the brake pressure, but that's because I'm a controller person. And I've turned all these down, but I might do them one click further if I do this, if I'm like in a season 2, because I feel like my tyre temperatures are increasing quite quickly. So that's just a lesson for me in the future. But let's dive out. Yeah, don't worry, Jeff, I'm on it, mate. Let's go, 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 go.
When you're ready, let's go.
Zandvoort has a wonderful flow to it. It's woeful for actual racing because it's narrow and you're constantly not so much in a corner, but there is always something going on. This corner always catches me out a little bit. I run out a bit wide and then I always overshoot it here. This is where I lose time, and then I never get on the power early enough on this corner either. He says then doing one of his better judgments. And on this one I feel like I'm cutting because I proper abuse that curb. But it's the way that I get my time back. Okay, let's go for it. I'm hoping for a good mid-grid. Top 15 would be wonderful. I always feel like I have a late apex there. Could have been better. That felt crap as well. And I still haven't quite fully worked out where I should be braking at this corner and what gear to take. Third or fourth. Oh, but that'll do. Well off now. Session update.
Bottas. So just ahead of us in this session at the moment are Hamilton and Vettel, and behind us are Perez, Magnussen and Raikkonen. The fastest lap at this point in time is a 1 minute 11.1.
Okay, I'm quite happy with that as an actual lap. And where it puts us, that's better than I thought. Good. Tiny pit lane here as well, I always forget. Tiny dancer. I do think it will be a great visual spectacle if we get, well, when we get to race here in 2021. Everyone's out there at the minute.
So far, our fastest
Under
lap
a
is
second.
1:11.9.
Mind you, even Jordan King's done well. They're in 9th, ahead of Kvyat, Giovinazzi and the 2 Williamses. Ocon up there. Into 6th. Kvyat, Russell. Where's Stroll? That does not look like him at all. Only 12th. He's woeful in this game. Behind Jordan by by 1,000th of a second. Haha. Kvyat dropping down 1 again. Danny Rick and Norris could well dethrone me. Where are you, Grosjean? The Hasses have had an improvement added to their car, which makes the Haas now faster than the Minardi, in theory. And they were decent in practice, actually. They were running just outside the top 10 in the dry. So that 17th, I think, will be a bit annoying for them. K-Mag's, yeah, K-Mag up in 12th. Bit more juicy.
22nd in the speed trap, 201.5 miles per hour.
Wow. Says a lot. I must be braking early, I think. Danny Rick goes 8th. We're ahead of Albon. Christ. I'm not sure I'll get much better than what I did. Let's go again. Let's go. You only lose a 10th as well on the actual tyres. That's interesting.
All set. Everyone clear? Car to track.
Let's try our second run now, whilst it's quiet. That pit lane just screams I'm going to lose a front wing end plate there. Christ. Mount that curb. Okay, go, go, go. Bit deep dish. Carried it through.
We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
Don't care, Jeff. Better. Ooh, run out a bit wide there. That's gonna hurt. I think we might have hooked it up just about. Shit. Ah!
That front wing. It'll need replacing if it takes too much damage.
Box this lap.
Okay, we can take you this lap.
Look at how much those tyres have gone up in temperature as well. Admittedly, we'd been on the grass, but yeesh. What a pain. There's 2 temps in there, isn't there? Ah. 2 temps I can find.
Car repairs have set us back a little.
So we could, I think we could lose out to Albon. Maybe a very on-point McLaren or Renault. Or Racing Point, to be fair. Quite how Stroll is down where he is, I've got no idea. Does look cool. So my question is, do I go again? I suppose I should go on fresh softs again. Does that make sense? Let's see what the track evolution is. Well, they clout the curb. I feel less cheesy about it now. Around the final bend. Stays 20th. Giovinazzi, oh dear. I mean, let's do it. We've got the tyres. Oh, I kind of feel like we need to leave it though till the very end of the session. Because everyone will be pouring out if we go out now, and we'll catch it all.
Best lap so far is a 1 minute 11.9. All clear the garage, please. Car ready to leave.
Let's be the first one of the queue out. Oh, I keep forgetting that poxy line. I've done that in practice quite a bit. I'm hoping everyone that needs to get out has, because I'm gonna go now. Well, they wouldn't make it across the line now anyway, so ha ha ha. Bit of a wonky start. Oh!
We have to replace that front wing. Box now.
Schnauzer! That ruined that. That was weird. It just couldn't cope with the amount of body slam I gave it. Ah, shit, now we're gonna ruin our own teammate. Go on, dude. Not ideal. 8th though. I'll take that. I think Albon must have leapfrogged us, and then Sainz or Norris, or maybe Ricciardo. Turns out to be Perez.
Complete,
Oh,
review
Ocon.
our
Christ.
top 3 today. Verstappen, Bottas and Lewis Hamilton. Well, that wraps up qualifying, but don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow as we head into the Grand Prix.
So, Orange Army happy on pole. Ocon a big surprise there in 7. We're a bigger surprise in 8. Perez, Norris, Gasly. Look at that like selection though. Ferrari, Red Bull, Renault, Minardi, Racing Point, McLaren, Alfa Tauri, Alfa Romeo. Like all of one of each of the constructors. Then we've kind of got like another one of each of the constructors. Haas then, despite that upgrade, I mean, K-Meg's up there, much better than before. King now down in 19th. Sorry, mate. I'm not quite sure how that's happened unless Giovinazzi went out for another run. Leapfrog Grosjean. Ahead of Russell and Latifi. Ah, disappointment. Clearly the pressure of being the top Minardi guy.
Let's have your thoughts. It's been a great qualifying session for you. Are you going to carry that momentum into the race?
Car was fantastic.
You left some body work out there on the track. Were you struggling for grip? Great. Well, that's everything.
Love a bit of acclaim. Nice. And that is helpful when it comes to the fact that Monaco's coming up and we're going to be absolutely torrid there. Cool. Well, that's quali over. Let's see how the race pans out. What's the worst that could happen? Would like points though, please. Points would be nice.
It was 35 years ago that the late great Niki Lauda took his 25th and final Grand Prix win here at Zandvoort. He came from 10th on the grid to beat his McLaren teammate Alain Prost by just 0.2 of a second. Well, Zandvoort is a very different circuit today, of course, but still one with an incredible legacy. And we're going to add to that. Welcome along to the 2020 Dutch Grand Prix. Zandvoort circuit, 14 corners, 10 to the right and 4 to the left, with plenty of steep camber and elevation changes to keep our drivers on their toes throughout a 2.6-mile lap. Joining us today to oversee all the thrills and spills, it's Anthony Davidson. And great to see you. How are you feeling about the race today, and how are the circuit conditions from what you've seen?
Well, it's looking a bit cold out there, if I'm honest. These tyres have quite a narrow operating window in terms of the temperatures they need to extract the best grip. So with a cold track surface, it's going to be harder to keep those temperatures up, which will lead to lower grip and maybe more mistakes.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session.
Woo.
Young superstar Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Vettel, Charles Leclerc and Albon, Ocon, Smith, Perez and Lando Norris, Gasly, Raikkonen, Daniel Ricciardo and Sainz, Magnussen, Stroll, Daniel Kvyat and Antonio Giovinazzi, King, Grosjean, Russell and Nicholas Latifi. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
Okay. That's interesting. Okay. Let's... Yeah, let's go for that. Okay. Bit worried about this one, especially because it's so tight. Bit worried about my front wing. Please forgive me if I use a flashback. Ooh, Albon. Has he gone into the barriers? He's off the track anyway, Albon. He clipped the back of me. There wasn't really a ton that I could do. Oh well.
That's a decent start. Good job.
It was actually. Oh, careful. That's the first time I think I've got the Tarzan corner right. Oh, Perez and co have got past. I don't know what happened to Ocon then. Is Ocon in trouble too? I mean, yay, but this is going to be very helpful for me. Oh, I just don't think I've got the consistency or the pace to keep up with those in front though. Because I thought this would be a race of me trying to keep everyone behind. But if they're all tripping over each other... A, great. But B, that's given me a couple of seconds buffer to do things like that with. Ah,
There is a fault
schnauzer.
at the DRS. You won't be able to open the rear wing. We're working on a fix. Stay out. DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
I'm not using it at all if it's broken, mate. Okay, Perez is coming at me now.
Let's use overtake and burn some of this energy. Gap to car in front is 3.5 seconds.
This could be a bit of a lonely couple of laps before Perez catches up. It's that corner. I don't know how to do that corner. And I feel terrible on that corner. But I don't, on the time, actually look that bad. But,
We're leading our teammate by 7.4 seconds.
Nice. Oh, that was a bit bumpy. Clearly everyone else has
We're
scarpered
approaching
off.
the pit window. You'll be on the mediums.
Teammate. Teammate status.
Gap to teammate behind is 8.0 seconds. They're on old softs. They're in 15th. The time last lap was a 1:15.4. The gap to the car ahead is 5.9 seconds.
That's better from King. That has the potential to be his best finish to date if he can hold on to around there. Rival status.
They're in 14th.
Boo. That curb ride felt like it was about to punish us at every moment. Okay, let's do a mix 3 for a bit.
Be aware we expect the grip levels to start falling away soon.
It's okay, that's why I'm mix 3ing it. Closing me down.
Push now. We're boxing this lap. Some information on Gasly. They seem to have an issue.
Okay, we're in.
Go, exit now. We're
Good.
racing on the exit. Go now. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
What the hell happened to the Williamses? They're well off everyone else. They had a bit of a weird tussle. The problem is that we're going to have to overtake one of them by the looks of it. Wow.
Jordan is coming in for his stop.
Well, that was bizarre. It hooked me up with him.
Okay, the gap behind is 1.5 seconds.
Oh, come on.
We're not going to be able to run in this engine mode much longer. We're about a lap over target. Drop down to mix 2 soon.
Okay, we are clear though. I think this might have dropped us down a bit. Okay. Back out again in 6th. Perez is still kind of with us though. I don't know if he gets within DRS, we might be in trouble.
The car in front is 12.5 seconds.
Nearly. There's so many places around this Zandvoort circuit where you can feel that you're kind of playing with the edge of grip. Which makes it such a fun track to drive because you push the grip levels right out to the edge of the circuit to try and like run the ring around the outside of it, or at least I do. Ooh, who's out? Please no safety car, please no safety car. Ah, car loose. Unfortunate. Oh wow, Norris came out on the hard tyres.
Yellow flag. Caution, caution, yellow flags ahead. No overtaking through the caution zone. Be careful until you see the greens. Okay, gap ahead is 14.1 seconds.
How was that not a VSC? That car pushed off there. I appreciate it's very difficult for a game to calculate.
There's 5 laps of fuel remaining.
That It's not a good move. Oh, these tyres are starting to get very sticky. Or slippery, rather. That was Perez within DRS for the first time all race.
You're losing a small amount of time to the car behind. Keep pushing.
Right, Jeff. Clinical Jeffers.
Gap to car in front is 18.8 seconds.
Wow, we are well off.
We have 2 laps of fuel remaining.
Okay, we're going to have to play as defence. I don't see that ever being a proper overtaking move unless someone's really bungled up the corner before. Which, to be fair, I have been doing, but
This is your final lap of the race.
Shit. No. There's defense. Oh, we've got a bit deep. Come on. Hold the apex, hover on it. Nicely done. Nice clean exit from here. Great. Floor the airs and we're okay. Whew.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Jeff, I think you should be a little bit more excitable than that. A Minardi in 6th. Daniel Kvyat, driver of the day. I hope he scored. Otherwise I'm going to be sassy bitch.
Fantastic victory for Red Bull today. So Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
Oh, well done,
I feel like
Max.
consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everyone at the team.
Nice to see Adrian Newey on the podium. Can't remember if that's a thing from previous games as well. Okay, let's take a look at the rest of the result. Once I've unlocked some gloves. Okay. Thanks for the gloves.
So let's review the updated driver standings. Not the results our points leader wanted, but it certainly makes things interesting going forward. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Anthony Davidson, who do you pick?
Often my go-to would be a driver who's managed to pull off an especially impressive feat during the race. However, in this instance, I was more impressed by Max Verstappen's solid, clean driving throughout the event.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. Meanwhile, good work from Racing Point this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time? Be sure to join us again as we continue to bring you the latest excitement in Formula One.
So behind the kind of train that was the Verstappen train by the looks of it for Hamilton, Bottas was just a couple of seconds back ahead of the two Ferraris that were nose to tail. We could not keep up with them in any way, shape or form over a second off. But to be fair, I was pretty much one of the fastest of the next bunch, although Norris was faster in theory. Potentially Ricciardo as well. Raikkonen, interestingly, getting the 10th point there, so that'll be Alfa Romeo's first of the year. Like, on proper merit. I can't remember if they've scored elsewhere. I don't think they have before. Kvyat just outside the points, unlike Gasly, but a good run up the field. K-Mag's 14th. So again, Haas not scoring, but they've disjointed themselves off the back of the Williams' brigade. But then King was doing well, up in 15th. Near the Minardi. Albon, oh dear. Not grand. Latifi beating home Russell. And that was that weird incident where I kind of got hooked on the Williams whilst trying to get by. So standing wise, that puts Bottas still at the top of the Drivers' Championship ahead of Hamilton. Verstappen moves up into 3rd. We move up into 6th, interestingly, as kind of best of the rest behind the top 5, as Albon just has not got going this year. I feel like they've given him last year's Gasly AI. A real mixture elsewhere though, with Norris doing well, Perez, yep, Raikkonen gets his first points. That gives us 14 drivers who have scored now, and that's key there, as you can see, for Alfa Romeo, moving ahead of Haas and Williams by actual points. Racing Point move ahead of Alpha Tauri. Remember, Danny Kvyat got that fluke safety car big points haul in Australia, and we move ahead of of Renault, amazingly, as well. Wow, I wouldn't have thought we'd have been 5th, but I'll take it. I don't think it will last. I'm basically for this season aiming for 8th or above, because I think we can beat Williams, and then Hassan Alfa Romeo I think will
Let's have yours.
bugger around at the bottom.
It's safe to say you're smashing everyone's expectations, isn't it?
Yes.
Do you have any comments about the collisions?
Oh, sorry, I just hit the thing. Well, we're not playing with the power thing, so let's do that and piss off the powertrain department.
Appreciate your time.
Oh, trophy. Here comes the money. Nice. Must have earned enough. And that is crucial for us for when we're going to lose all the lead on the K-Mag battle when it comes to Monaco. Already at Team Acclaim 5. Oh, Team Acclaim 7. My Acclaim 5, sorry. Nice. Okay, we did make a few damages. Plus $1 million at the end of that I will take. Thank you very much. And that, my friends, is the end of this episode. Thank you so very much for joining. I hope those of you who are watching this series are enjoying the regularity and the frequency of this, because I didn't want it to be like a dragging throughout the entire year when everyone else's playthroughs can be much quicker. And it looks like quite a lot of things just happened there. So we'll dive into that as we get ready for the Spanish Grand Prix next here on High Plane Games. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.